You lose, game! But yeah, I'm doing Galerians New Game Plus right now, which is not massively different from New Game. There's actually not even any runs for it, like, on the board at the moment. But I have come up with at least 2 strats that differ mildly from the New Game run, therefore justifying its existence as a category, if only slightly. Because the fundamental difference between Galerians New Game and New Game Plus is that you immediately start the game in short mode, which, if you don't know what that means, God, I don't know how to explain that to you quickly.
No.
It's this sort of, like, super-powered headache mode where anything in a 5-block vicinity will just die if it gets near me.
Oh.
But also it slowly kills you while it's activated. Normally, if you short in regular gameplay, it's like psychic power overload, right? It does that. But in regular gameplay, you can't run while shorting. That's the big difference. You can only move slowly. It's a slow-moving but controlled, like, nuke-type power. Fuck off, game. So now in New Game Plus you can run with your superpower, like murder mode, but the caveat is that it does still slowly kill you. And in fact it starts immediately active on New Game Plus, so you need to like find a way to deal with it relatively quickly. The starting inventory also differs slightly on New Game Plus. That's another thing that's like, it's a minor thing that makes it a little different, because I actually have to go in this room on New Game Plus. I don't normally do that. Because what you do on New Game Plus is you immediately have to come in here. You don't need to grab the health, but I do because I think it's worth it. And the Delmator, because the Delmator is what will cure your Mondo headache. Normally, in the regular game, you start with 2 Delmator, which is all you need for the run, so you don't need to pick up any extra. Because you only need to cure Mondo headache, like, twice. But in this run, fuck you, buddy, you gotta pick up some extra, because the game doesn't spawn you with any. It does spawn you with some extra health capsules, though, which is nice. It's just an unusual thing that is different. Like, it's a very minor thing. Like, in the base game, you spawn with 2 health pills and 2, like, Delmators, so you can recover your AP gauge. In New Game Plus, you spawn with 3 health pills and no Delmator. Go figure. Yeah, as you can see, my health is now kind of low. So I'm going to get out of Mondo headache mode with a Delmator. And at this point, the run becomes pretty similar to what New Game is like. Because when you're not, like, in Mondo headache short mode, the game is pretty much the same compared to New Game. Like, New Game Plus doesn't change a huge amount. Honestly, if there wasn't, like, a blank board for this on speedrun.com, I don't think I'd have done this run. Truly, the power of just creating empty categories is that dipshits like me will feel compelled to fill them. The system works. I think in total, the sum total of like possible strategies imparted by the ability to run while shorting, because there are a couple of strategies that are actually made possible by that being a thing. The sum total of time saved from those couple of strategies might be enough to make New Game Plus faster. I'm not totally sure. Maybe. If it is, like... Wow, that sucks. Oh, this is a rare fuckery. This is rare bullshit that is occurring right now. I got lucky. That phased through because of the cutscene. Normally he doesn't get anywhere close to, like, running all the way down the hallway at you like that. Not even fucking close. He's normally off in his own world picking his nose. Yikes. That was different. Yeah, if there is a time difference between New Game and New Game Plus, and there is, there's got to be a time difference at least. Because you lose time at the start of the game to having to take a detour to pick up extra Delmator, so that's slower right out of the gate. But then you gain time because you can pop the short earlier in the back half of this stage, albeit that only saves like 5 seconds, and it's probably not enough to offset the time that you lost, the time that you lose from having to take a detour. It's the end of the game where New Game Plus could save big time, because you can pop a short in the final area immediately on starting the final area and fucking kill everything by walking at them. And that's just, it's not viable in New Game because you don't run fast. But it is viable in this because you do run fast. And does that save enough time? I'm not sure, but it definitely saves, like, a good amount of time. It's time, and it is saved. Because normally you have to charge a bunch of slow, like, force choke type attacks at a bunch of enemies, like groups of enemies over and over again, at least like 3 times. Which is definitely slower than just running at them. But, like, how much time is it? I'm not sure. So there is the potential for New Game Plus to be faster than New Game, but only by a very small amount. It's probably not that dramatic. But non-zero. Non-zero potential. So here I am investigating that possibility, trying to get a run that's at least 55. My PB for this, for the game on New Game, you see, the regular any percentage, is... Let me do this first, hang on. My brain can't numbers and other numbers at the same time. My PB for the other category, any percent, which I set, like, yesterday, it's like 55-48 or something. Like, I just said it, and it was a pretty good run, too. Pretty much all the boss fights were good. There's like, miscellaneous uncleanliness in parts of the route, like using keys was a kerfuffle. And I think I talked to an NPC I didn't need to, because I didn't realize you didn't need to. That's like a route change. I thought you needed to talk to that guy. Turns out you don't. Delay tech. D546, you think? Something like that. That sounds right. So I think there's time to save on my any percent run still, just in, like, in pure execution, like a fair bit of time. But all the major points of that run were pretty decent. So I'm, like, okay with it for now. I don't want to, like, super optimize this game or anything. I just want to, like, I just wanted, like, a run that wasn't free, you know? Like, if you want to beat that time, you better get the boss fights right. It looks like an auto-service machine, you don't say. And I want to do New Game Plus because my PB was, like, experimenting with route changes in the middle. Or more specifically, I wasted a shit ton of time at the end of the run, because I was like, which fucking bin has the Delmator in it? I couldn't remember which one. It's like, where is it? I know it's somewhere, I just don't remember which one in particular. I remembered enough about the game to know that, oh, this route works because there's such and such item in such and such area, but I was like, where it is in particular was not the thing I knew. So I searched every single bloody thing individually, trying to find it, and it turned out it was in, like, literally the last one it possibly could have been. Oops, too far. Ugh, shitty. Just upending every garbage can in the room looking for aspirin. Ooh, that's not good. He's like right next. I'm gonna eat a baton to the back of the head. That's just the thing that's going to happen here. Kinda sucks, but oh well. It's fine, I think. Maybe. Oh, getting stuck on that is not fine. No, it's fine. He whiffed. Ideally, you want to, like, get in there before he gets a chance to be aggro, but as if he also just misses, that's also fine. The health routing is not super tight at this stage of the game. But I do need a smidgen of health.
Don't let him get away!
Because if you run out of health, you die. Funny that. Where the fuck am I? I'm over here. This much health is okay. Because you're basically guaranteed to take a shot in the butt doing this. I have yet to figure out how to not get shot in the butt doing this. Because this stalls your momentum, and then you get hit during item pickup recovery, which is extremely fun. And not at all extremely rude. Ooh, fuck you. That shouldn't hit. Take a recovery capsule. Did I earn this since I was a kid? Hell no. I played this game for the first time like a year ago. Look. That's a New Game Plus strat. You can't do that on New Game. Because you can't run. See, normally that guy shoots you in the head. That's why shorting preemptively is faster here, because it avoids getting shot. And we want to be shorted anyway by the end of the level because it instantly kills the boss. So it's like, well, just do it now. Might as well. Saves me a little bit of time. But no, I played this game for the first time like a year ago. On stream, in fact. And I especially haven't owned, like, this copy of the game since I was a kid. This is the American version of the game. I'm, like, not American. have to pause there slightly. Otherwise you will run into bullet and be sad. I also streamed my first playthrough of Parasite Eve, like, a couple of years ago as well. Unfortunately, I streamed Parasite Eve before I was sort of more attentive about keeping my VODs backed up to my archive channel on YouTube. So that playthrough is gone. That guy is dead. I have killed him with my head. I saved 17 seconds? Crazy shit. Sweet opening, no lie. That was a really good first split. The squad is rolling up. What time is it? Hang on. Plenty of time. I haven't been streaming for that long. Hi, Spiky Mike. Peak 90s teenage angst. Release me. I wanna be free. I have no earthly clue why I'm, like, so pseudo-dedicated to the act of running Galerians. Because as a speedrun, I think it's, like, okay, you know? It's fine. There's better speedruns, there's worse. It's alright. It's pretty alright. As far as, like, PS1 survival horror goes, it's distinctly okay. As a game, I think it's pretty neat. I think it has interesting mechanical implications. I think the most interesting mechanic the game has is when you don't interact with very much in a speedrun. It's the whole shorting out thing, because it's based on time, which makes it kind of intriguing because it imposes a, like, soft time limit on the whole game. Because there's only so much headache medicine in the game. And a Mondo headache at the wrong time fucks you over badly. It's not as fine-tuned as you'd hope. Like, it is quite possible, and not necessarily even that hard, to, like, brick your save as a consequence of bad, like, headache medicine management. Which I did not do, because they're like, there's enough headache medicine. There's, like, more than enough, really. But still, it's like, it's a possibility that you can fuck yourself. But then it's also a possibility that you can fuck yourself in Resident Evil. But then, you know, there's the technical option that technically, no matter how badly you fuck things up in Resident Evil, you always have the option of busting out the knife and hitting everything in the shins. Because in theory, you can knife everything in that game, no damage. In fucking theory is, like, very much the key phrase there, because if you're the kind of player who manages to back themselves into a corner hard enough that that would be their fallback option, you're not going to be able to knife everything no damage. You fucked up way earlier than that. But regardless, this game has, like, no knife option. You know, if you're out of attacking juice. That's another thing, actually. If you're out of attacking juice, like, you just straight up run out of, like, psychic power. And you can't attack with it either, like, Nowcon or Red, you're just fucked. That's it. I guess that's actually the more prominent issue, is that it's perfectly possible and not even very difficult to just run out of juice. That's it. You just run out of attack juice. I think this is why the game has a continue button in bosses. I know, for the Tyrant Fountain. That is the most likely place where it'll happen. If it's any consolation, Code Veronica is the worst for that, and that's the worst place in Code Veronica for it. That happens to quite a few people. You're not, like, uniquely bad at video games for that. That one is, like, not very well tuned. That happens to all sorts of fucking people. All sorts of people. What's the heist, Werner? How's runs going? I've only really had one so far, and it got to Reinhardt and then died because Reinhardt took a shit on my head. But the run itself was going fine before that point. I got like chronically unlucky with this pattern. It was shite. The run was good up to that point. It's annoying, but like Galerians is just like that. Sometimes the bosses just don't fucking work. And it's like, okay. Yeah, Code Veronica kind of lacks the fine-tuning of previous entries in the Resi series. Like, in Resi 1 and 2 and 3... Maybe not so much 3. It's pretty hard to, like, back yourself into, like, a super corner. Like, many things will probably happen before you manage to, like, back yourself into a corner with no ammo. But, like, Code Veronica, Plane Tyrant is, like, a particular sticking point for a lot of people. It's very possible and not that difficult to fuck you, like... to get yourself into a very bad situation in that particular part of the game. And then there's a particular point in the back half of the game that can fuck you over in the same way. Because it briefly swaps you back over to Claire, and does not in any way make it clear that anything Claire has at the end of that section is fucking gone forever. So it is very easy in Code Veronica to, like, overload on resources for Claire's, like, brief gameplay section. And just... poof, then they're all gone. It's like, okay, that's not the brightest piece of game design in the world. I wish I liked Code Veronica more than I do, is sort of the general takeaway from this, but it's full of minor but, like, significant questionable design choices like that. And I also think Code Veronica is just slightly too long. That's my feelings on Code Veronica as a whole. I think Code Veronica is the second weakest classic RE game. Which is not to say I think it's bad. This is the thing, is that I find Code Veronica very absorbing up to a point. I think Code Veronica's pretty cool. Up until roughly Plane Tyrant, because Plane Tyrant's an asshole. But once you get past Plane Tyrant, it becomes pretty cool again, because then you get to explore the Antarctic base for a little bit. And then it cuts back to Chris back on the island, and it's like, I would have just cut that section entirely. I don't fucking get the point of that. Why am I back on the island? Why am I Chris'em? Whack, dude. And then you're back at, like, you're Chris again in the Antarctic base, and you just repeat a lot of the same steps that you already did as Claire, and it's like, meh. Then it becomes a different section, and then the game sort of picks back up again for the finale. And then the final boss itself is this super cluster of shit. I fucking hate the final boss in Code Veronica. Like, sometimes those games can be challenging, but I'm... That boss, like, annoys me. It's not necessarily that difficult, but it's, like, just annoying. It's like trying to... It feels like trying to play a video game while, like, someone's just flicking pebbles at your head constantly. They're not doing much damage, but it's just very distracting. But I kind of like the look of Code Veronica. I also think it's got a really cool boss design in the form of the Nosferatu fight, as it is called. That's a cool enemy design. Big old shambling man with his fucking heart out. That's a cool dude. I like that dude. The actual fight is a bit annoying because he attacks by way of amorphous cloud, which is not the funnest thing in the universe to try to dodge. But the design is cool. I like the way when he introduces, like, the fight starts. You try and walk down the stairs and he just fucking slowly lumbers at you out of the, like, the snow fog. It's neat. It's a good scene. It is effective framing. Oh yeah, that's really cool as well, actually. If you kill him with a knife, you get a different cutscene. And if you kill him, like, with a direct sniper rifle hit to the heart, you also get a different cutscene. You get different kill animations. Nothing dramatic, but it's a nice touch. Code Veronica has some neat ideas. I definitely think it's, like, it's the second weakest classic style RE game, but I don't think it's bad by any means. But I would never run it. That's the thing, is that, like, I kind of wish I did want to run it, but it's too fucking long. It's just too long. I don't like how long that game. It feels long in, like, the bad way. Where, like, a good 30 minutes of it feels, like, solidly unnecessary. The weakest is Zero, yeah. I have the same opinion that everyone else does about Zero, which is that I think Zero's kind of meh. Experimental game. Has its own ideas, but, like, I don't like the way inventory management works. I don't really like the co-op focus thing. It's like pseudo co-op. It's not really like proper co-op. I don't like how it works. It's got a bunch of super annoying set pieces and boss fights. It's like, meh. Fucking hook shot. Why? Etc, etc. All of the common, like, complaints about Zero that people have leveled at it over the years, I have the same ones. I agree. You know what's funny as well? Zero prevented me from finishing Remake for a very long time. Because I bought Zero and Remake for the Nintendo GameCube at the same time. And I thought, I'll play them in order of number. And so I finished Zero, and I did finish Zero. Oh, did I finish Zero? And by the time I was done with 0, I was like, I don't fucking want to play more Resident Evil right now. My brain is soup. And so I didn't, and so I have a copy of Resident Evil Remake for Nintendo GameCube that I never finished. Interesting. He's doing the nothing personal kid attack. I'll take that trade. Not the perfect RNG, but good enough. I reacted well enough to that. If you're wondering why I'm now on the ground, I'm changing discs. This is a multi-disc game. Yeah, I actually didn't get around to Remake until fucking ages after that. I streamed my first playthrough of Remake, even. Like, that's how recent it was. It was a couple of years ago, I think. It wasn't that long ago at all. And when I played it, I had the extremely controversial and spicy opinion that Remake...
Welcome to the Babylon
yeah,
Hotel.
it's very
Room
good.
For one?
Go figure.
Is there a girl by the name of Lilia staying here?
Lilia? There's no one by that name staying here.
A crazy
Your room is
concept.
number 302.
I feel like when it comes to like the classic Resi games, my opinions on like what ones I think are good are pretty stock. Like I generally agree with the majority, you know? When it comes to everything else, it's a shit show. So we're on the subject of like Resident Evil opinions. My cool, like, least favored Resi opinion is that I don't care much for RE4. I'm not sure if that's, I guess in, like, sort of the greater canon of gaming, that's, like, my least favorite opinion. But my least favorite opinion in terms of how much people gave me shit for it is that I don't like either RE2 make or 3 make. I find 2 make very boring.
You'll find what you're looking for in room 204.
I just don't like how 2 make is
Knock
like
this to get in.
a very slow-moving third-person shooter. I don't like how survival horror, like modern survival horror, is now just slow-moving shooters. That's not how they used to be. They were a different thing entirely, but you can't make games... Hang on, I have to concentrate on this. The door knock is impossible. Hold that. Don't.
Come on in.
The Don technique continues to be flawless, by the way. I'm 5 for 5. For those of you who have, like, were not around for the part of the stream yesterday where I practiced that and only that for, like, an hour. You don't know how long that took me to figure out what particular kind of cadence it wanted. Because the way the guy instructs you and the way you actually have to do it are different.
All right already, what do you want?
I want to ask you something.
And eventually, the strategy I landed on is the flawless Don strategy, where I just say Don out loud. It's a time-honored technique. a technique I have like backported from my Silent Hill 1 run, where for some reason there's a particular strat that I can only ever get if I say out loud don don don, like to get some sense of the timing. If I try and do it without speaking, I'll fuck it up. I don't know why, like, Don technique seems to work really well for me, but... Don, Don, Don. It just is. It's just how I keep beat. I will say, practicing that was definitely fucking worth it. What are the new survival horror games coming out lately, anyway? Alan Wake 2? That could be interesting. Depends what kind of direction they take with it. We'll see. There is the supposed Dead Space remake, which I don't know if I will bother playing, since EA is going to lock it to Origin, like a bunch of annoying people. And I'm just never going to install Origin on my computer. That's just not going to happen. They'll definitely lock it to Origin. It's an EA game. Callisto Protocol is a game I have heard of, but, like, don't know anything about. And that's because I'm given to understand that they've not shown anything about it. You got some red. Wee. Begone, idiot. Abandoned from Blue Ball. That feels like a shitpost. No one actually knows what's going on with that, do they? Oh yeah, here's a hot one. It's not really a horror game, but it's kind of in the same sort of world. The Power Slave remaster comes out tomorrow. Kind of Doom-esque shooter. But it's like Metroid Prime, before Metroid Prime was Metroid Prime. Yeah, Exhumed. They've given it the full title Power Slave Exhumed. They've just combined two titles, but made the second title a subtitle. Which I think is a clever way of going about it. And yes, it comes out tomorrow. The 10th. It is the 10th tomorrow, right? Yep, comes out the 10th. Comes out tomorrow. I would like to check it out. It's that remaster that's been years in the making. Especially from Night Dive Studios, and when it comes to remasters of old PC games, Night Dive, they're king. No one does it better. It's simple. Fuck this guy!
I won't fail this time, Mother.
This guy is a flop. Don't like him. Ooh, that's not good. I didn't charge properly. Oh. Die! Really? Oh, this is bullshit. I'll take that trade. Stop. Ah, windmill punch. Ah. This is quite bad, because the game sucks. Oh. Well, that sucked. I'll take it. 300% garbage, but fuck it. I'll roll with it. I'm ahead, and the run is, like, still live, so fuck it. I'm gonna need those spare Nowcons, though. Because that was a bunch of booty.
Oh, it's you again.
What are you doing?
Are you blind? I'm checking out the hotel blueprints. They demolished the old hotel to build this
I will also
one.
need the extra recovery
Kept
capsule.
the same crummy old
Because
plumbing.
I had to heal twice during that fight.
The hotel shares a boiler with that abandoned restaurant.
I
next door.
used healing aggressively.
You know, I really hate this building.
So I can get to that restaurant by going through the boiler room?
I suppose so. But why bother? It's out of business, so there's nothing there now.
Okay, thanks.
I still have lots of Nowcon. Yeah, this sort of scenario is where it's important to know where all of your stuff is. Because I only have one healing capsule left over, and that would be a problem, except haha. He knows. There's a dead dude in the sink? There sure fucking is. What's my health at? I did heal. Yeah, I'm full. That's fine. You'll always get hit by that. That's the strat. You take damage to save time. Do I pick up the spare healing capsule inside the bathroom or not? Do I bother? I think I bother. In this situation, I think I bother. We collect some red. You collect some skip. You collect a recovery capsule. Ordinarily, I wouldn't pick that one up, but ordinarily, I also wouldn't have to heal twice in the middle of the Reinhardt fight. Because ordinarily, the game doesn't fucking take a shit on my doorstep. Good. But these are not ordinary circumstances. That hit. It might not have looked like it hit because it sort of like traded funny, but it hit, I assure you. You forgot about this fight. It's a total pain in the ass casually, but funny enough, on a speedrun, it's like one of the least random fights. It's a pretty canned sequence as long as you get the first hit right.
Die.
Like, she will die now. If that looked very programmed, that's because it was. Whew. Alright, so the strategy for this on New Game Plus is quite a different matter. I actually do also think I should just inject more. You know, while I'm in the menu. But I can just start this cutscene immediately. Because I don't need to pick up any defilon. Yeah, I don't. You don't use it.
How does this shooter work? There are no switches or anything on it.
AP? Yeah, I maxed it out on purpose.
Probably the only way to get to the other rooms.
Rion!
This is New Game Plus technique.
Lilia, I can't figure it out.
New Game Plus technique. Wow. That's much faster than charging a defilon.
I can't figure it out.
Definitely. The problem is that now I have to complete this whole segment on a time limit because I'm slowly dying. Get it going.
Rion? Rion? Can you hear me?
Lilia! Where are you?
It's not a very strict time limit.
I don't know. But the same lights as those on that shooter are here.
But that's the
They're
gamble
probably our key to the other rooms.
with New Game Plus on this run is
me try.
I bet I can beat this with my magic like death power faster than the death power will kill me first. It's a New Game Plus exclusive technique. Because you can't run while shorting on New Game. So I don't know, I'd be like walking slowly ever and it's not viable at all. Skip. Got his ass. Got his ass. Got his ass.
Lilia, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Let's go to the next floor.
Okay.
If you're wondering why it cuts to black when that, like, after I hit the second one, that's because it plays a cutscene. But I'm skipping it, so... no cutscene for you. Right, this is the room where I normally would pick up Nowcon. Nah. I see some Nowcon. I see some Nowcon. Because I used up a shit ton of my Nowcon.
That's right. Activate
If the
shooter.
run goes to plan, you don't
Okay.
pick those up. Those are backups. Oop, wrong direction. Very bright. But because the run didn't go to plan, I have backup instead. This is very questionable puzzle movement. What are you doing? Where's the other one? Hey! Supposed to, like, approach
Activate
me.
the shooter.
That's why this strategy works.
Okay.
It's supposed to fucking walk at you. Cheeky shits. And that is actually the last floor, so I have beaten the time limit tremendously. I've still got, like, over half my life bar.
Lilia.
Rion, Now is our only chance to reach the hands of God.
Speak for yourself. Now, the question... I have no idea how to manage my inventory at this part of the game. This is the part of the route I haven't really worked out. So I want to equip red. I need to check all of these. I need to pick up an extra red from the bin while I'm here. Like at least one, if not two. I'm not sure I have the space. Okay, well I have the space for that at least. You can't take it, your medicine pouch is full. Yeah. Expected. An expected outcome. Use the Dalmator first. Then we take our skips. Inventory management. It's a little different on New Game Plus because the skips are still in my inventory. It's supposed to scan it, you fucking... There we go. Fool! Knob! Idiot! Right. Galerians. Oh, that's bad.
It's over.
That's not good.
It's over.
It's not over, though. Okay, I don't trust that at all. Oh, no, it's okay. Missing the initial hit was no good, but I backed it up okay. Missing the initial hit fucking sucks, but that is okay. I made it work. Right, because I'm concerned about health. I will in fact acquire backup health. If I didn't take any hits during that fight like I'm supposed to, I would have just kept on going, but fuck no. I didn't mean to take 3. That was an accident, but whatever. Debated. Ah, annoying. Well, that's not good. Okay. I can't fucking believe what I'm getting away with here. chose to take that. Oh, I whiffed. Fuck. That whiffed? Really? Game, stop. Not the greatest final boss in the world. Okay, but I win. 55-34. Yeah, I beat my new game run. And that was a really wacky final sequence. Yeah, I think New Game Plus is faster than New Game. Maybe. Possibly. At least by a little.
Lilia, send me the virus.
It's good enough. I'd submit that. That final boss started off really good, and then I whiffed a hit, and it became messy. Damn. I got away with such bullshit during that. Like, did you? There were 2 times where the eye came really close to smacking me, and it just pushed around me, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna complain, but I didn't think I made that at all. Like, when the laser was, like, about to strike me, and it, like, I passed between it and the eye, and neither of them hit me, I was just like, what the fuck? Did it get confused about which one was supposed to hit me and gave it to neither? Like, okay, then. I feel like I should have gotten, like, double screwed for that, but what happened was I got, like, a total buy. That was some shit. That was PB and world record, yeah. This category had no runs beforehand. But that's actually faster than the any percent run. Like my any percent PB. I think replay mode actually does save time on the final tower, and it saves like enough that it works out. This being said, I could still beat this. On any percent. I could. I definitely could. Like, I can get lower than this on any percent. I'm pretty sure it's possible. But you can save so much more time on this run as well. Like, the Ryan Hart fight was bad.
We'll die too.
Final boss wasn't great. I fucked up the Kane fight. I whiffed the first hit, and that was kind of painful.
No.
Just let me
Whiffing the
die.
first hit fucks that fight up so badly.
Don't say that.
Lilia. Please just let me die. But I am the real Rion, aren't
Yes, you are the real Rion. There can only be one of you.
No, I asked if I was
Please
the
try to
real Rion,
understand
not if I was the
this.
real
I?
Rion.
Lilia.
The Galerians Ash. Why do people keep asking about Galerians
You
Ash?
are Rion, so you must come with me. Rion? Rion!
I'm so glad we met.
I'm trying to rename.
Rion!
Keeping properties instead. Trying to rename my local recording. I streamed Galerians Ash not that long ago, and I thought it was garbage. I never want to play it ever again. No thank you. Time for a victory tweet.